Welcome back to part 2 of this MRP lesson. In the first portion of the lesson, we had just made the product tree for item A, and now we're going to get ready to look at part B, which our objective is to develop a material requirements plan for component F. As we can see here, that's towards the bottom of this product tree. There's 2 spots where F occurs. And the reason why we make this product tree is so that we can determine in which order we're going to prioritize ordering parts in our plan. And so if you recall from lectures in class, you'll know that level 0 is the base, or basically wherever the primary product, the finished good, is. And so I'm just going to kind of walk through this little process here. Level 0 is product A. The next tier is level 1, which is going to be C and B. So I'm actually going to write out B and C respectively. Level 2 is going to be D and E here. Looks like we got D and E here as well. So level 2, D and E. And then level 3, we have F and G. And it just so happens that level 3 is where we're going to want to work, because ultimately we're trying to get to the requirements plan for F. But we need to start from the top and work our way down. And so the first item we're going to be looking at is A. And we're going to read a little bit further into the problem here just to make sure that we're setting this whole table up properly. We just made the tree, and then it breaks into right here. Lead times for all items are 1 week, except for B. The lead time for B is 3 weeks. And since A is not B, we're looking at a lead time of 1. And nowhere in this problem does it state that there's a fixed ordering quantity. So we can assume that the ordering quantity we're going to do today is lot for lot, which, if you recall, that's just being able to order the exact amount that you need. So after finding out the lead times, the next process to look at is right here. 100 units of A are needed at the start of week 9, which that translates to the gross requirements. Also, just as a refresher, gross requirements is what you give. This little breakdown if you're confused about some of the terminology. We're going to give or sell away. Scheduled receipts is what you get. Projected on hand is what you have. And then net requirements is what you need. So we'll just remember that as we work through the problem. 100 units at the start of week 9 are needed for us to give away. I want to make sure I don't confuse you there. Net requirements is ultimately once you recognize what you're going to give away and realize what you have on hand, the difference is going to be the net requirements, if there's any. So now that we have 100 units at the start of week 9, there's also a little bit of information about inventory that we currently have on B. Looks like E as well, and a little bit of information on F, which we're not going to get ahead of ourselves because we are on item A, as mentioned. So there was nothing mentioned at A and what our beginning inventory is. So we can assume at the beginning inventory we've got 0. We can carry that into period 1. And really, the problem doesn't say anything about anything happening other than week 9 for A, so we can assume that nothing happens through here, no change in inventory of what we have. There's no gross requirements or needed demand until 9. We've got 0. That means that we need 100. We're going to order 100, and then when are we going to order it? 1 week prior, because of a lead time of 1 week. That should look like the material requirements plan for item A. Check on level 0. Again, we're going to just work towards the end goal, which is F. We're going to work downward on the level plan here. A's been taken care of. The next thing that we see, ultimately B or C, doesn't matter. I'm going to choose B. And the reason why it doesn't matter here is because B and C are on the same level. We need B and C at the exact same time in order to deliver for A. So item B, we realized that the lead time for B up top here is 3 weeks. That's different than the rest. I'm going to write down the lead time there that we have 3. And then quantity that we're dealing with, again, nothing is mentioned, so it's a lot for lot structure. But there are 32 units of B on hand. Projected on hand in beginning inventory is 32, which we can drag over to here for that first month. If you notice in the tree, there's also 3 B's for every A. And so since we just dealt with 100 units of A that need to be ordered in week 8, we're going to bring this down and multiply that 100 times 3, because there's going to be 3. And if you can't see that, I'm just going to zoom it in a little bit on the side so that you can see how we get to what the quantity or gross requirement is going to be for B, 300 units. It doesn't say anything about scheduled receipts in the problem for item B, so we're going to assume that both the scheduled receipts and demand is going to be 0 or nothing there. And we're going to move that projected on hand all the way forward because, again, there's no activity happening with B. But we have 32 here, which means that if we are giving away 300 and we only have 32, we need to order 268. So we will plan on ordering that 268. When are we planning on ordering the 268? Not 1 week. We have a lead time of 3. So 1, 2, 3 weeks would bring us back to week 5. I'll just draw the arrow over here for you to see. And that completes the section for part B. So now we'll head down to item C. Since item C is directly related to item A, and we know that we need 100 units of A ordered in week 8, we're going to work with the week 8 total for part C, meaning that we're going to bring down the 100 here. We're going to multiply it by however many C's we need per A. In this case, 2 C's for each A. So we're going to do 100 times 2 to give us 200. Excuse me. My apologies. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That's right. 200 just a quick little mental slip up here. So we have the 200 that is needed for period 8. Was there any other information given regarding C? Just for a little refresher, no, there is nothing else happening with C up here. So we can assume that there is 0 projected on hand and that there's going to be 0 gross requirements until week 8, 0 scheduled receipts, and again, bringing that forward, it's going to say that we've got 0, we need 200. When do we need 200? Lead time for C is 1. Quantity to order is lot for lot. 1 week back, we have 200. Going back to our platform for ordering, now we're in the next section. We don't need D for anything. D is a dead end on the product tree for both of these. We do need to get to F, which is why we will go with C here. I just checked that we've done level 1 is complete for B and C. The next item we're going to look at is E. It's also a lead time of 1 week. Quantity to order is a lot for lot style because, again, nothing's mentioned. And there was in the problem given that projected on hand is 212 units. We can see that towards the end of the problem here. 212 units of E are on hand. So we're going to bring that into period 1. And we also know this is where things get a little bit trickier too, because now we have E as a part of C and we have E as a part of B. So we've already done the material requirements plan for B and the material requirements plan for C. And we're going to notice and drop down the order from B in week 5. Just going to go here, which is going to be the 268 times how many E's per B. Going back up to the table, we have 3 E's per B. So we're going to put that here. 268 times 3 is going to give us 804. And now for gross requirements of E, we've got 804. And then we also have another order coming down from part C, which is 200 C's. But we have to ask ourselves how many E's go into each C. Let's take a look back at our tree. We have 4 E's for every C, which is going to be 800, 200 times 4, 200 units of C times 4E will give us the total gross requirements there. There's nothing about scheduled receipts anywhere through it, and there's no other demand requirements. So we're going to move this over to period 5. We have 212 on hand. We need 804, which gives us a difference of 592. We need to order 592 when we need to order it 1 week back. 592. After that, we're left with 0. We've used up all of our inventory. We need to give away 800. We have 0, which means we need to order. Need 800. We're going to plan on ordering 800. When are we going to plan on ordering those 800? 1 week back. Which brings us to the problem we've been trying to solve the whole time. F, the material requirements plan for F. We know lead time is 1, lot for lot ordering because nothing is mentioned. But going back up to the problem, there is something we need to notice. There's 75 units of F which are currently in production that are going to be completed by the start of week 3. So 75 units currently being produced, they're going to be completed and given to us, is basically what that implies, by the start of week 3. So which section would that fall under? We have give, get, have, need. This is where we get. And it said at the start of week 3, so we get 75. Sorry for that. That was bad. But as you can see, 75. So the next question we have to ask ourselves is how many F's go into each E? There is 3 F's for each E, 3 F's for each E. That's a common, easy transfer over. We have 592 times 3, which is going to give us 1,776 right here, 1776, and then 800 times 3 will give us 2,400. So we have 2,400 here. We have no inventory on hand. Slide that over. But as we mentioned, in week 3, we're going to get 75. We had 0, so we now have 75 here, which we can bring over to period 4, where we first see some activity occurring. We need to give away 1,776, but we only have 75, which means we need to order 1,701. We're going to plan to order 1,701. And when are we going to do that? 1 week lead time right here, 1,701. So for week 3, our final ordering that we need for item F is 1,701 units of F. We won't have any on hand after this here, meaning that we need to give away 2,400. We have 0, meaning we need 2,400, which we will plan to order 2,400. When do we plan to order? 1 week lead time. And that is the MRP Explosion problem, part number 2 of the lesson today. Thank you for watching awesomehelp.com. I really hope that this helped. If it did, please like us on LinkedIn, like us on Facebook, leave a comment in the YouTube channel if you'd like, and just share with friends. Thank you and take care.